Alright, hi again. I want to tell you about the most recent changes of the Malta repository. It's going to be the last video in this series because it is going to be the last release from my side at least. So me and also Tomasz, we decided to add one more big change, so to say, and the funny thing about it is it's actually not visible on the front end side. Tomasz asked me to switch from using MongoDB to using GraphDB by a company called Ontotext. So that's actually a graph database which totally makes sense to use in our case, because what we are talking about here is, if you don't know if you still remember it, but we are talking about relations or relationships between individual items or objects coming from different external resources, from GitHub, from GitLab, from TIS, etc. TIS is the platform of the Technical University Vienna. Anyway, I did what Tomasz suggested. I switched from MongoDB to Ontotext GraphDB, and right now this GraphDB instance is simply running locally on my computer on the localhost port 7200. And as you already can see, there are 3 relationships stored inside here. Those parts are the subject, the predicate, and the object. Those are the individual parts of any given relationship. And that's also what you're seeing here right now. So we have the links exactly as in the previous version, but now it is using GraphDB instead of MongoDB. I added a second change. And this change is actually visible on the front-end side. I added the possibility to create links of different types. So before that, we only were able to establish links between items, or of course there is no link, for example, between this and this item. And now we are able to also define the type of any given relationship. So if you, for example, click on edit links on this card, now it turned yellow, and we click on the green plus icon again, because this is a potential new item that we could link, then the new thing about it is there will a modal pop up, and it will ask us what kind of relationship we would like to use in that case. So as you can see right now, there are 3 different options available, and those options actually are pretty well, random, so to say. I did not know which relationship would be needed in the future, and because of this I decided to again implement this new feature in a very, very generic way. So if you viewed my previous video, I mentioned how you can now very simply add new external resources just by adding a few more lines of code, and it will immediately add another external resource. And that's exactly what I also had in mind when implementing this new feature. So there is also now a relationships.js file. You can see it if you check out the source code. And this is a very simple JavaScript file that is just used to define those relationships. So if you open this file, you will see an object containing 3 different types of relationships, and that's exactly what is being presented here on the front end side. So what's happening actually is, when you start this client, this front end, the very first thing it does, it talks to the server, and it asks not only for the list of available external resources, but now it also asks for the available relationships. And once that is done, once that is received, the remaining front-end application loads. Yeah, so let's try this out. Let's add a new link, which is now called isLinked to. And you can see we have a new link here, and it is blue because that's also something we defined in this relationships.js file that I just mentioned. So if we add another link, this time is written by, then you can see this one has kind of like a red color, something like that. So yeah, that's the second big change that I added, and it will be the last big change from my side. I hope you liked it. I hope anyone's going to use this. It was a proof of concept, and it is a proof of concept, and it was fun to implement this. And yeah, that's it, I guess. That's really it. That was the last video of this series. Thanks and bye bye.